Peace everyone, Unmask here. Welcome back to Drawing Journal Live. I forgot to set up my microphone, so I'm like a minute late or something like that, but I think that's okay. Anyways, so I'm going to be playing with some markers. I didn't have anything to color, so when I woke up this morning, I started drawing this. I haven't finished inking it yet, so I'll do that, and then I'm going to color it with some markers. So do that. Alright, so I'm just going to try to finish up the inking on this, and I didn't know what I was going to draw this morning. I really didn't. So I have this, and I'm almost done inking it, and we'll just get on to coloring. I'm just going to finish up the hair here, and then I have some of the lower body that I need to do, and that's going to be it. So nothing too crazy. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. I had a nice relaxing week with my wife. We just were bums in bed and watched, oh my goodness, so we started watching this 4400 TV series from, I don't know, it's pretty old, I think. The acting is so bad it feels like it's in the 90s, like it's from the 90s or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. But it is hysterical because it's so bad, it's hilarious. And so we started watching that. We watched quite a few of the episodes, and what else? We watched the movie Arrival, which was really good. I was glad that I got that movie because it's been a while since I've seen such a good movie, and Arrival was really good. It takes a little effort to follow it and to kind of discover what the meaning behind the movie is, but if you just pay attention, you can figure it out pretty easily, and it was a good watch, that's for sure. What else did I do this weekend? Nothing. Didn't really do much else this weekend. I didn't do any art stuff or anything like that. I did put in some effort into trying to figure out what I do later this week. Not quite sure. I did forget to share. I forgot to share my live stream, so I don't even know if anybody knows that I'm live streaming right now. But I'm in no big rush, so I'll just take my time and finish this inking. I didn't, as you can tell from the thumbnail of this video, I had no idea what I was going to do. And because of that, the thumbnail is just a picture of markers. Because it was during like my last live stream that somebody was like, hey, it'd be kind of fun to watch you color with markers. And I was like, you know what? It sounds like it'd be fun to color with markers. So I needed to come up with some kind of picture to justify coloring with markers. And I procrastinated all weekend and hadn't thought up anything to color with markers, so now I'm kind of behind and had nothing to color. So I tried to finish this drawing before the live stream, but see, I didn't quite get it done, but it's coming along pretty good now. And then I'll have something to color. Let's see here. I think that's pretty good. Legs can be kind of difficult. It's nice to get really smooth, curved lines for legs, and so sometimes it can be kind of tough to get those lines smooth. I think I did okay. So I'll just go ahead and ink. So real quick, if you are in the chat, hello Kiyomi, if you are in the chat right now, do me a favor and share my live stream, because I kind of ran out of time and I didn't realize that I was supposed to be starting, and I forgot to share it. I didn't share it on Facebook, I didn't tweet it out or anything like that. So I don't know how many people realize I'm live streaming right now. So if you could, just give it a quick share for me, and that'd be really great, because hopefully we'll get a few more people in the chat and make it more fun. Hey Pixie, thanks for coming by and joining the live stream. I am just drawing this girl in a skirt, and going to be coloring her with some markers, as it was requested that I color something with markers. And I'm just finishing up the inking because I'm a little bit late, but it's coming along pretty well. I should be taking my time. I should be taking more time on this, but I'm trying to get through the inking process as quickly as possible so I can get to coloring. Because coloring is the fun part. Hey Anne. Oh, thank you Pixie for sharing the live stream. Appreciate that. And Anne, I know you're in the Facebook group, if the Block Reef Facebook group. So if could do me that favor and maybe share the live stream in there, because I totally forgot. That would be very great. That. And finish up this inking really quick. Try to get these big lines out of the way. Those are the hard ones. I'll do like an outline as well. I'll make this a little bit bolder. There we go. Oh, thank you, Kiyomi. I didn't know that you were in the Facebook group. I tried to get to know as many people in the group as I can, but I only have such good a memory, and I can barely remember the people I meet in real life. I'm one of those people that will forget your name immediately after meeting you. Like if I meet you in person, then I'll be like, "Hi, my name's Will," and you'll say, "Hi, my name's blank," and usually I shake hands, and by the time I let your hand go, I've already forgotten your name. That's me in real life. That's how bad my name retention skills are. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, hello, Eric. Thanks for stopping by to say hi. Appreciate that. Just doing a little bit of drawing, a little bit of inking right now, and then I'll do the coloring. Almost finished with the inking. I'm done with the baseline inking, so I'm going to go through and erase it now with my kneaded eraser. I have the paper. So the paper that I'm working on right now is the Strathmore Bristol plate paper, and this is my favorite paper. I love this paper for ink and markers. It's super smooth paper, and it's nice and thick as well, so it doesn't feel cheap. It's not cheap. It's the 500 series paper, so it's like the highest grade paper that they make as far as Bristol paper. And it blends markers like very nicely. It keeps your inked lines very crisp and just nice looking and everything. So this is one of my all-time favorite papers. Just so you know. So what do you mean? So a tutorial to work with two cameras. What do you mean? Like that I'm doing right now for the live stream? Is that what you're referring to? Or are you referring to like my other videos where I work with two cameras? Because I actually already did a tutorial on how I like record my more advanced time lapses, like the painting that I did recently or something like that. Is that what you're referring to as far as a tutorial with two cameras? Thank you for sharing that, Kiyomi. I appreciate that. Okay, so doing my live streams, shooting with two cameras, it's very easy. It's very easy. So the camera here that's shooting me, and then I have my background as a green screen. The software that pretty much everybody uses right now is called OBS. I don't know if it stands for something, or oh yeah, Open Broadcast Software or System or something like that. And it's just a free software that you can download. And then this camera that's shooting my face is just a HD webcam. It's the Logitech C920. Which it's pretty cheap. It's like $50 or something like that, but it shoots good quality video. And so I have that camera set up, and in OBS I can do all these, these manipulations with the cameras. I can change the size and stuff like that. And I can also add what's called a chroma filter. And the chroma filter allows me to cut out my background. I have a green screen behind me, and then in OBS I set up the chroma filter on that camera right there, and it cuts out the background for me. And then of course my second camera, that's this camera here, is my Canon 70D, which is not ideal for this setup. I recommend any camcorder that has clean HDMI output, but that's a whole nother story. So this camera is my 70D, and I have that just hooked up on a mount that's shooting down. And then of course I have HDMI coming from that into my computer. Yes, OBS. And then I just do the same thing. I set it up in OBS, and OBS is very simple to work with, and there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube that you can check out of people explaining it. And I mean, really the easiest way to do it, grab your webcam or whatever, open OBS and play with the camera and see what you can do. You can resize it. It's so simple. It's so simple. So no complicated anything really. It's very simple. And there's like I said, there's plenty of tutorials. There's really no reason for me to take up the time to do one. Because it's just so easy. So now I'm going to go in with a fatter pen and do some of these outlines and just make it a little bit more bold. And that will pretty much finish up the inking. Once I do this outline, I'll do a few like shadow points as well. I did, you know, the video that I was doing last week, the last drawing journal, the drawing that I was working on, I did finish that drawing, but unfortunately I don't have it handy right now to show you, and I didn't take a picture of it and share it on Facebook or anything, which I don't know why I didn't do that. But yes. Maybe I'll try to do that in the next drawing journal or something like that. I'll try to share those those finished drawings for the coloring book. And if you're wondering, no, this isn't for the coloring book. In fact, I would like to take a picture of this. I think I'll try to take a picture of this on my camera before I start coloring it. That way I can have something, and other people can color this if they want. Good morning, Artista. Have I considered streaming on multiple platforms at the same time? I haven't looked into that too much. I was told that I could kind of like I could stream on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, but I haven't looked into doing that. I would consider doing that. There's no reason to limit my stream audience just to one platform. I was really close last week to streaming for the first time on Twitch because I was just going to set up my camera and start streaming. I don't even remember what I was working on. I think I was drawing something, and I almost set up, but then I didn't. And that's about as close as I got to streaming on another platform. But I would like to open that up. I think it'd be good because my live streams, they have been a huge improvement to my channel overall because it lets me interact with so many people live. And I think a lot of people are drawn to my channel because of that. Now, I mean, since I started live streaming, which has been 2 months now, yeah, it's been 2 months since I started live streaming, and I've gained like 2,000 subscribers, like in 2 months. So it's been a huge, like positive impact for my channel to start live streaming, and I think that it would continue to be even better influence for my channel if I streamed on multiple platforms. And I would like to open it up to other platforms because there's no reason to close off that audience just because it's on a different website. And if I can stream on both platforms simultaneously, then there's even more reason to do it. I suppose if I was really serious about it, I would have already done it, but I just haven't committed, which is probably just, not a good idea. But I would like to share one thing. So this weekend, at the end of this week, my wife and I are going to be going to a dog show. And this is like a national dog show here in Poland. And she's going to be translating. And I'm going to be a featured artist at this dog show. And it's 3 days long. So I'm going to have my monitor set up playing like time lapses of me drawing. I have some posters that I made displaying my work, and the winning dog of this dog show gets drawn by me for the owner, and I've already drawn one dog for the lady that runs this dog show thing. So it's a huge, it's a giant opportunity. I'm very excited about it. I wasn't going to share it until after it happened, but I figured I'd just share it now with everybody because I'm pretty excited about it. So I haven't really been working on anything big recently. Technically I have 2 commissions to do that I was waiting for some art supplies to come in the mail, and I'll get them today. So I'll be working on those commissions. I might finish one of them this week, but yeah, so those are some of the things that's coming up, and I'm really excited about this dog show opportunity because it's going to be opening up a huge client base here in Poland to do pet portraits, and if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be on national TV. So I'm going to be promoted across the entire country of Poland and possibly into other countries. As far as I know, I actually don't know a whole lot about this dog show. Unfortunately, it will probably continue that I don't know a lot about this dog show because I don't speak Polish. And so it makes it a little difficult, but regardless, it's a very big opportunity, and I hope that it all goes well. I did a pet portrait commission for my wife's boss recently, and that's how I got into this because he is such a huge fan of my work. Speaks no English, but he is a huge fan of my YouTube channel. He loves watching my videos. He wants me to become famous. Like, he's probably trying harder to get me famous than I'm trying to get me famous. It's just funny. He's a huge fan, and it's a great honor to be a part of this dog show coming up. Oh, hey Corey, thanks for coming by the live stream. Yes, the markers that I'm using is the Tria Markers. Of course, I haven't started using them yet, but those are the markers that I'll be using. All right, I spit on the paper a little bit because of my enthusiastic talking, so I gotta wait for some of it to dry before I can use it. But I'm gonna add a few little details with the ink, a few pinch points where shadows are going to be, just make it smoother and whatnot. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of this before I get into the actual inking part. Oh, that's cool. You used to show Dalmatians. That's very cool. I've never been to a dog show. I've never watched a dog show. I have zero experience whatsoever with anything dog show related. So it's going to be a very unique and fun experience. I've been studying with my wife the terminology that they use at the dog show because, like I said, she's going to be the English translator, and so we had to, and she has some experience. She's been to a dog show, but that's about it for her experience, I think. And so she doesn't know the terminology, and so we were studying and going over like the anatomy of a dog and all the translations from Polish to English and all that fun stuff. So that's what we've been doing the last few days. Yes, Poland goes through daylight savings time. However, it is on a different day than the U.S. So I don't know when it happens here, actually. I think it happened last night for the US and probably most of the world. But I remember it's always like a week or 2 weeks later than the US, which is super weird. I remember this because when I still lived in the US and I used to Skype with my girlfriend, well, my wife, but she was my girlfriend then. Is we went through the daylight savings time and it was a positive thing for our schedules because of the already significant time difference. So I know that it's like a week or two different that we go through daylight savings time, but yes, we certainly do. Eventually, we will go forward in time, right? Spring forward, fall back, yeah. So it will be happening soon, but it has not happened yet. All right, I think that's pretty good. Just a little bit here. Lift her sweater up off of her. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I did actually watch a dog show video yesterday, but it was it was like the agility one where they're like jumping through the obstacles and stuff, and it was just the only reason I watched it is because the dog like he hit like this the bar and just like skidded across the. It was fantastically hilarious. Um, and then I watched another one of this Jack Russell Terrier just going crazy, like running all over the place. Oh, hello, everybody. Hildy and Ty. It's nice to see you in the live stream. Hopefully, you have a good day at work since you're on your way to work. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry for just like another minute or so. That way, the ink is less likely to run. So give me some suggestions while we're waiting for this ink to dry. Actually, I want to try to take a picture really quick. I don't know if how this is going to work, but I'm going to try to take a picture with my camera. Okay, so I should be able to upload the line art for this later. So if you're interested in coloring it for yourself, feel free to do that. But I need some. Tell me what I should color. What do you want me to color? What color should it be? Give me some ideas why the ink is still drying, and I will prepare my colors. See, I have my color chart here for my markers, so I'll be using that. Be referring to that, and then I have all my markers here. So UK is the last Sunday in March for the time change, I think you're referring to. Yeah, so it's probably the same here in Poland. I can't imagine that the UK is different than Poland as far as the daylight savings. It's most likely the same throughout Europe. Skull socks. I think orange, yellow, brown hair. Orangish, yellow, brown hair. I like that. Okay, so it should be pretty. It should be pretty dry, so I like to start with the hair. So orange, yellow, brown. Orangish yellow brown. So kind of like a red, like a ginger, like a redhead, but browner. Let me just think here. Let me get color. Orangish red brown. Let's see. I like to start with the highlight color. So I want to go too orange. That's orange. Okay, so I'm going to go with a light yellow first. I'm going to start with a light yellow and just color all the hair. The process that I go with the hair, when I'm using markers, is I color all of the hair the highlight color. So she's going to be a ginger. And so I'm going to use this yellow to create a nice warm highlight. And then I'll go through with the mid-tone color, which will be kind of the base color for the hair overall. So that will be the really important color. So she's going to look really blonde right now, but just ignore that. She's going to be a redhead. I actually just colored red hair for a tutorial, but that was in colored pencil. And I have the live stream for that on Patreon, along with black hair and brown hair and blonde hair. I don't know if I'm going to do it this week, but I need to do it sometime soon. Rainbow hair. Colored pencil. Because I've kind of broken down the process to like the simplest possible way to color hair. Semi-realistic, I guess. And so I've gotten pretty good at coloring hair and choosing the appropriate colors to get the look that I want. So I guess the reason that I was asked to color something with markers is probably because I wanted some tips or tricks or whatnot on how to color with markers. Let me brighten this image up a little bit. Is that too bright? Tell me if the image is too bright or not. If it's too bright, then I can darken it a little bit, but whatever. Yes, so the one thing with markers is that I think a lot of people underestimate how much layering affects the look and blending of markers. I mean, you can kind of almost compare. You can almost compare markers to colored pencils in the sense that layering is so important to get it to like look good. And like, I mean, when you're trying to blend markers and you only put like 1 or 2 layers, they're not going to be all that blended. So it takes like a few layers to really blend markers well. And I think a lot of people underestimate just how many layers you should put to blend markers, make them look soft and all that fun stuff. If she's going to be, since she's going to be a redhead, I'm choosing her eye color. Her eye color is going to be turquoise blue, because I think that is always the best combination. They have nice bright blue eyes. The best thing I love about these markers is the extra fine tip. So I can get in and do these teeny tiny little hairs. Does it look better like this or like this? So is it 1 or is it 2? You have to tell me. Sorry, I'm trying to color and follow the chat. There seems to be a lot of chat going on. So how many markers did I try before I found these? The funny thing is, these are called Tria Markers, which means 3, and they are the 3rd markers that I tried. So the first markers that I tried were Copics, and I just got, I don't even have them anymore. I got a set of like warm grays, and so like 0 to 12, I think, 0 to 12 of the warm grays, and they worked beautifully. They're fantastic markers, but goodness gracious, are they expensive. Copic markers are so expensive that, if they're so expensive, I don't buy them. I can't afford to buy them, and so I never do. And the other issue with Copic markers, which caused me not to buy them, is that they're not light fast. So everything that I draw in color is going to fade over time, and it's like, whatever. Why am I going to spend all this money on these markers when the drawings are just going to fade? So that's another reason I don't waste my money on those markers. The thing with these Tria markers is that the ink is light fast, so my drawings aren't going to fade as much as the Copic markers are going to. Okay, I'm going to keep that marker out. I need to pick my orange color. This is the real important. The question is, do I want her to be like a fiery redhead, where it's like an orange red, or do I want more of a realistic redhead, where it's more of a brownish red? I think I'm going to choose 2 colors for this. I'm going to choose 4, 7, 1, and 1. So this is the orange colors that I'm going to use for that. So 2 is better. Okay, thank you. I think I have it on 2. Yeah, I have it on 2 right now. Excuse me, need some water. All right, so she's gonna be like a brownish red, like a brownish red redhead. That's what it's gonna look like. Fiery, more brown. Well, I chose the colors, and I can always go over with a red to kind of bring out some more red, but I'm going to go with this brown here. And the way that I'm going to do it is just kind of block off where some of the highlights are going to be, and just kind of like using like loose strokes and kind of feathering it out a little bit. This. And that will leave the yellow highlight where it is and create a highlight. This. Yes, the paper is very, very important. In fact, I would say that the paper is probably 60% important, whereas the brand of markers you're using is only 40% important. That's what I was trying to talk about. The second brand of markers that I tried to use before I got the Tria markers was the fine color markers, which if you've followed my channel for a long time, you know how I feel about fine color markers. Those markers are so bad. Those markers are so bad, I actually refused to do a review of them because they were that bad. Instead, I ended up just talking about them in a drawing journal, and a lot of people like hate that video. A lot of people come over to my channel because of that video, and then they hate that video. I hate that video, but it's one of my most popular videos. Is my review of the fine color markers, and it's not even really a review because I just sit there and talk about how bad they are, because it was just a drawing journal and it was unplanned and whatnot. But yeah, that was the other markers. I bought the Tria markers that I have now off of eBay for, I don't know, I think I spent like $100 maybe on these markers for 144 of them. So I got like an amazing deal, just an absolute phenomenal deal on these markers. That's where you want to get your markers, is eBay, because you can kind of get an okay deal with Copics, but I feel like so many people want Copics that it's hard to actually save any money shopping on eBay with the Copic markers, because so many people are trying to like get them for 1 penny less than what they retail at, and nobody really thinks of Tria markers as being as good as they are, because the Tria markers are fantastic. In many ways, I'd say that they're better than the Copic markers because you have the flexibility of 3 tips with this like super fine tip here that Copic can't even compete with, to be honest with you. And the downside is that as far as I know, the ones that I have are not refillable, which is a downside. But the markers are so much cheaper than the Copic markers that I don't care if they're not refillable. I can just buy a new marker and replace it, not have to worry about it. Whereas Copic marker, I don't really have that option. I can refill it, but there's no such thing as a cheap, like, the refills aren't cheap or anything. They're still just ridiculously expensive. So I don't do, the reason I could never justify buying Copics is, 1, they're ridiculously expensive, and 2, I don't do enough with markers, to be honest with you. I don't color enough pictures with markers to justify paying, basically chopping off my left arm to pay for Copics, and to get no better results than what I get with my Tria markers. Just no reason for it. Okay, so the next color that I'm adding is this is going to add a bit more red into the hair, so I'm going to this color here and just kind of go through, add some more reddish, deepen up some of the orange there, and add just a bit of red to it. This is going to make it more fiery red. I'm going to have to get like a dark brown to hit up some of the shadows, but I'm not really adding a whole bunch of this color here. Need to blend it out some. And the way that I do that is just switch back to my other colors. But I'm going to use the small tip and create some finer details into the highlights there. Aside from eBay, the only other place that I've seen the Tria Markers is on the website. So if you like Google Tria Markers, you can like find the website. And actually, I did a video. I did a video like 2 years ago when I first bought these. And if you live in the US, you're gonna want to watch that video on how to buy Tria Markers. So yeah. You're gonna want to watch that video if you're thinking about potentially buying Tria Markers. Find the video. I think it's a drawing journal. I think, not 100% certain about that, but I think. And you could probably go to my channel and search. You could search. Better than Copic. I think you can search that and find the video. I'm not 100%. But I have the video and I go through it all. I go through like buying these markers and how to find the best price and all that fun stuff, and I compare them directly to Copics. So that's one thing to do. Okay, I need a brown. Reddish brown. 492 looks. Might be a bit. No, this should be good. Yeah, this should be good. I might have to go a little bit darker. I might actually have to grab a dark black or then those lines. So is anybody in the chats working on a drawing or doing anything, or is everybody else on their way to work as well? I'd love to know what you're working on. You are working on something. All right, so I'm just about finished with her hair here. So let's see. I'm going to color. I'm going to color her sweater next. So give me some hints. What color are you thinking for her sweater? I was gonna say blue, like a sky blue, to match her eyes, but I don't know. Give me some ideas. What color should I make her sweater? Because I'm just about finished with her hair. Breakfast in bed. That's not a bad way to spend the time on the live stream. Yeah, that's good. An ice nightmare. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Like weather-wise, like it's been bad weather. Well, that's good. I'm glad you decided to work on something, and I'm glad I could help out with that motivation. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking that yellow to kind of go back and soften some of those rough edges that the markers create, and I'm kind of using it as a blender, and it's gonna just overall brighten all the oranges and reds as well. So that's what I'm doing here. Like I said, layering with markers is extremely important. And one of the things that you'll want to be cautious of when you do layer your markers, you want to be careful about when you layer a really light color against a really dark color. So if I lay down a dark color and I go over it with a really light color, it's not going to like that. That's all I got. It's not going to like it, so don't do it. You always want to use an intermediary color in both color and value. You don't want to go from something super light to super dark and try to blend those together, because you're going to get kind of this really weird effect where the ink from the light color actually erases the ink from the dark color. All right, so purple lavender. I like that. Purple lavender. So sky blue with purple pink stripes as a plaid. I kind of like that. Thanks, Corey. I'm glad you like my marker work. So here's what I'm thinking. I want the skirt to match a little hat thingy. And so I like the plaid idea. I really like the plaid idea for the sweater. And then I'm thinking solid colors for the hat and the skirt. I like purple. Purple's a good color. Let me put, I'll keep those markers aside. Her hair colors, just in case I incorporate her hair colors somewhere else. Actually, no, I lie. Her hair's done. I'm going to put these markers back. So let me do that really quick while you guys battle it out about her. Let's see. So purple. A bottle of Coke and a bucket of ice. Oh yeah, that would be a difficult subject. Lots of little tiny details that you have to get the colors just right in order to make it look like ice. And yeah. Purple. I like plaid. I like purple. Purple plaid. Purple plaid. There's an easy trick to doing plaid with markers. Super simple. So let's see. I gotta find the right colors here. I kind of like the pale purple. So let's go with these two colors here. 265. So these two purples I got here. Purple and green. You know, I like purple and green. Purple and green. That's okay. So I have these purples. Let's find a nice green to go with them. Should it be a dark green? I think it should be a dark green. Let's go with, I'm feeling this color right here. I'm feeling this. What do you guys think of these three colors here? With plaid, you don't want to add too many colors. 3 is pretty much where you want to be at. So let's go ahead and do this. So again, with markers, it's really easy to layer, but you always want to do the light layer first. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to kind of draw out the plaid with this color, and we'll see where we get with there. So for her sleeves, I'll just start here kind of randomly. So when you're doing your plaid, you know, you want to draw out where your stripes are going first. That's like the first thing. And you usually have 2 directions, so you just draw out one direction first. Like so. And I'm going to stick with horizontal for right now and just kind of follow the way the cloth is laying. Just the best that you can. So something like that. And I'm going to do the vertical lines, so it's just going to find a spot and kind of come up. Something like this. And if you have any of these vertical lines in the cloth already, you want to make sure that you follow those so that it looks like the cloth is actually being worn by the person. On arms, you want to avoid, the perfectly straight, because the sleeves actually twist when your arms are moving, so it's important to get that twist in there. So with her arm coming up like this, the cloth is actually being twisted like that way. So my lines need to come over this way like this. And they're going to kind of go back this. There, something like that. And I'm going to say like her sweater is kind of like a turtleneck, so I'm just going to add a line here to imply that that part is the sweater as well. The cuff, the cuffs on her sleeves and this little stripe, I want to be just this light purple. So I'm just going to color those in completely. And then also this part here where it buttons. It's very easy to get lost with all these lines and like color in the wrong square or whatnot. So the next thing that I'm going to do is use, let's see, should I color this? I want the thing overall to be this dark purple. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to color in the squares with this dark purple. Some of the squares. Oh, hello, Alex. Thanks for coming by and joining the live stream. Appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to, let's see, how do I want to do this? So I'm going to do every other stripe, both horizontally and vertically. And I'm going to avoid where my light purple is. And color in the squares. This can be kind of tedious. But this part is super easy to make mistakes on. So take your time and think about it before you color it in. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I got really quiet there for a second. Oh, thanks for coming by, Drawing Mango, Amber, and anybody else I may have missed. I'm glad you could make it to the live stream. I forgot to share this live stream, so fortunately a few of the lovely people here now was kind enough to tweet it out and share it on Facebook for me. So I'm glad that you were able to find it and come to the live stream. Yes. So I am using a Mac Mini. That's the computer that I use. I use a Mac Mini, and it's the stats. So it has quad core i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a terabyte hard drive. Not a solid state hard drive. That's it's pretty much fully upgraded in terms of like processor and RAM. And one of the things that I did, like when I bought my Mac Mini, I bought it with the lowest amount of RAM because it saved like $200. And then I went to eBay and bought the upgraded RAM for like $98. So, and then changing the RAM in the Mac Mini is so easy. I love my Mac Mini. It is the best computer I've ever owned in my life. By far. By far the best computer I've ever owned. And I do all of my photoshopping, all of my video editing, everything. See, I should do a tutorial on fabric coloring. Well, actually, I kinda did. It's part 3 of my How to Draw Anime series, and I discussed like all of the techniques. I don't cover coloring um, because for me, coloring is very subjective. You know, like color choice and what you want and things like that. But I do have my tutorial on how to color everything, where I talk about like color palette and color choice and all that fun stuff. You know, um, so I do have the tutorial on drawing clothes. I also have a free download from my um, DeviantArt page that has different clothing types uh, that kind of express the different ways to do cloth. Because the first step for me when it comes to coloring or when it came to drawing or anything like that, you know, I do the body first, and once I understood how to do the body and the form and the figure and everything like that, create my character bases, the next thing was learning how to put clothes on it and things like that. And I can create my own clothing styles because I understand different fabrics and how, you know, how they fold and how they move with the body based on the way that they fold, stuff like that. So it takes time to develop that skill, but I would have to recommend doing it in steps. So make sure that make sure that you can first do the body. Make sure you can first do the body and then move on from there. So now you can see that I have every other stripe purple, and then I'm going to do every other vertical stripe I'm going to do green. Yeah, with that green. And then I'm not sure about all the squares that will be white. I might do a light green or something like that. We'll figure it out. um, no, these are not Pro markers. They're Tria markers. Oh, hey, CC. Thanks for coming to the live stream. I'm glad you were able to make it. I know you hate missing my live streams, so it's always nice to see you when you make it to the chat. I assume you're also on your way to work, like a few of the other people in the live chat right now. Yes, so I have quite a bit of my original characters and things, the line art, that are on my DeviantArt page, and you can download them. I have it set up so you can download the high resolution line art, and then you can print it out and color it yourself. Thank you to my sister Cece in the chats for bringing that up because I have quite a few. Um, I have quite a few original designs that you can just print off, download, print off, color, and I would absolutely love to see what you create, what you color, and what you come up with, your color choices, and all that fun stuff. So if you do color it, tag me on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you might post it, because I'd love to see what you do with it. Oh, hello, Chrissy. I'm glad you're able to make it to the live stream. As you can see, I'm using markers. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was you last week that said I should do something where I color with markers. So here I am coloring with markers. Of course, I had to draw something first, which I did right at the beginning of the live stream. I was just finishing up the inking when I went live. And everybody in the chat right now is trying to help me figure out what colors to do. So we all decided to do a redhead, and I'm doing a purple and green sweater, a flannel sweater, and I'm finishing that up now, as you can see. All right, so let me put the cap back on this. I'm going to pick up my green here, and now I'm going to do every other vertical stripe green. And I'm even going to color right over top of the purple, and this is going to create a new color. It's going to do it just like this. And then, of course, it will be lighter green here. And a darker green. So this is where like the layering process of the markers really comes in to create that flannel look. And then I'm going to skip over to this one. And I'm going to continue it onto this side as well. I'm going to have the green up here. And down here. And here. Right, so it's starting to come together. Thank you, Chrissy. Let's see, so I need some green up here as well. And right there. So for the sleeves, I'm going to pick the ones that make most sense. So I'm going to pick this one here. I'm going to make this one green. And there's a little sliver right here that's supposed to be green. Now, one of the difficult things about this process is shadows. Creating shadows with this is very difficult because you're going to have shadows that cross colors. So the easiest way to do that is completely ignore that. Always pick kind of the lightest color that you're going to be using. In this case, it's just the base colors of the sweater with no shadows or anything like that. And then you can go back and you can grab like a neutral gray and just go right over top of these colors to create some value differences and work the shadows right into the piece. So that's how I'm going to do it. And for this sleeve here, I'm going to do this outer bit. Make this the green stripe over here. I have these white squares, and I'm thinking that I might do a light green. So let me find a light green here, something that works. Kind of like need something lighter than this. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with this right here. Yeah, I like this color here. This is good. Hello, Karen from Israel. That's cool. I don't know if I've had anybody from Israel before. I'm going to take this light green and color in these white squares. I think this is a good color for this. I don't want any of the squares to be white. And I'm going to skip the purple because that's my original purple and I don't want to mess with that color. That's a pretty cool sweater, I have to say. That was a good color choices there. I forget who said it. Who was the purple and green? I know somebody said it. Heidi, or is it Hildy? Hildy, I think. Yes, purple and green. Very good color choices. Thank you, Ty. I'm glad you like my anime drawings. I don't feel like I do enough of them, to be honest with you. Sometimes, like with my collaborations, my Coffee with Friends collaboration, I kind of, I get to draw a little bit of my anime style and color it and stuff like that, and it's always fun. So it's nice to do it. This is like the style that I really enjoy, just creating and having fun with. So I'm glad that you like my anime drawings. All right, so one of the other things that we got to do with this, we got to create some fun stuff. So I'm going to keep these colors because I may incorporate these colors somehow later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, that's not going to work, I'm going to need something darker. Let's do a 266, yeah. So I'm going to grab this darker purple. And I want some threads. So I'm just going to kind of do dashed lines across to create like a nice flannel thread right through this piece, right through these colors here. Just like this. Get over here. And through here. And up through here. And don't forget about this sleeve here and over here. There, some little thread details like that, and then also for the I'll do it also I will do it you know, let's see how this shows up. I'm going to do it vertically and horizontally with this green color. This is just like a really dark green. I wanted it to show up. Right. Let's see, where's this going? Here. And up through as well. And over here. There. I think that's pretty good for her sweater. So the Letraset, I don't know if they're completely discontinued yet. I know there was some stuff regarding it like a long time ago. I read it. You know what? I totally forgot about that spot right there. Sorry, sorry, off topic, but yeah, I need to color this in here. I'll do that in the light green. So I don't know what the current situation for the Letraset markers is. I bought these like what feels like forever ago, and these markers are already 25 years old. That's how old these markers are. So I bought them used, and every single one of them still works. I don't know. I don't ask questions. I just pretend that a magic fairy comes by and refills my markers every night because they never run out. And I don't know if they are completely discontinued or not. It's very possible that they are, and that they're. I know that I read something that they were going to be bought out by Pro Marker and blah blah blah, but I'm pretty sure there's still a website. But I don't know. I haven't looked in like a year or something like that. All right, so now I need to create some shadows. So I'm going to just grab a number 7 gray, and I'm going to develop my shadows. So there's going to be a shadow here. There's going to be a nice shadow underneath the arm here. That here as well, and over here underneath the hair. There's just going to be a shadow kind of in this general location here, and the fold. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Shadow created. Maybe over here as well. And a little bit there. That's about it. Maybe a bit darker. So I'll grab a little darker one and kind of reinforce the shadow in some spots. So, and then I'll do like a line down here so that it looks like it's kind of folding over. There. And that's pretty much it for shadows. Just kind of throwing in a little bit of the neutral grays just to darken up the colors. But there's her sweater. Yeah, I've wanted to try the Winsor and Newton markers, but like I said, I don't really have all the money to buy all the supplies I'd like to try. And right now I'm kind of like super excited about pastels. I've been having so much fun with pastels. And I'm already looking into buying a full set, a full real set of pastels. Okay, so the sweater is done. Maybe. I kind of have an idea. Let me grab this white gel pen real quick. Let's add some white lines to this. So I'm just going to go through and trace my light purple and create just a last little bit of detail for this sweater. And I'm just going to trace all the light purple. And also horizontally. I think this is going to be the final touch to make this sweater look awesome. It's all about layers with the flannel stuff, so you just gotta keep layering. All right. Gosh, this white gel pen is so dried out. Barely getting anything. All right, almost done. Swear, eventually this sweater will be complete. Promise. Now I need to do her hat and her skirt. So I need your professional advice on colors. I need some more colors, people. What am I going to do for her hat and her skirt? Because like I said, they're going to match. I think it's just best that they match to kind of have a balance. Or maybe not. Let me know. There. Now her sweater is done. It is done. Promise. The pastels that I'm getting is the Unison, the large set, I think 120 colors of the Unison, but the half sticks. There's two reasons I'm going with the Unison. The first reason is that they're like one of the top brands of soft pastels. The second reason, well, maybe there's more than two. Another reason is that they sell them individually. So if I run out of a color, I can buy just that one color. So I can continue to add more colors to my pastels by buying one or two colors that I don't have. They have 400 colors. And I think that the set of 120 would be super good. They also have sets like portrait sets and landscape sets and things like that, which would be really nice because I want to try a portrait. I want to try a portrait in pastels. I don't know when I'm going to try it, but it will be soon. But I need more colors. I can't do it with the set that I have now. Yeah, I think if I get a couple commissions, if I get a few commissions from the dog show that I'm going to, then I think I'll go ahead and order those pastels. Fuchsia or ocean blue? I was thinking something more neutral than fuchsia or ocean blue. Because there's so much color already with the purple and green and the red hair that I don't know. I think I'm leaning. I don't want to go with gray. But I'm thinking maybe like a dark sandy brown, for the skirt and the hat. That's what I'm thinking. So Okay, so you have some experience with the Unison brand. That's cool. Um, I read some things online about soft pastels, and if I'm going to continue to invest in pastels, which I want to because they're fantastic, uh, I want to get I want to get good professional level brand instead of wasting any more money with second rate brands. Go with the complementary color. So, well, I mean, her hair already complements her green. Um, and the purple, the complement to purple is the yellow, and that's also in her hair. So really, her hair and her sweater already complement each other like fantastically. So I need something to balance it out. I'm leaning towards like a dark sandy brown. That's what I'm looking at. Because it needs to be a little flatter. Because if it's too bright, then it's gonna dull down the focus there, and then also possibly gray. Maybe I could tint the gray, so I could maybe tint the gray purple, have a grayish purple, like a dark gray purple color. Um, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the sandy brown. That's what I'm doing. So you're all fired. All fired. Let's see. This is the color. This is going to be the base color. Hello, Wilhelm. Glad you could come by the live stream. Been live streaming for a little while now, I think. I don't even know, hour and a half or so. We're just having all kinds of fun with this drawing here, coloring with some markers. Yeah, I think this sandy brown color was a good choice, but I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And I can always add a little bit of color to the sandiness, make it a bit more unique, or maybe a little bit more brown, a little bit more red, something along those lines. And I can add some texture. That's another way to kind of like add a bit of variety to the flatness of the color. Not just shadows, but texture. There's a lot of flat surface here on her skirt. A bit boring, a bit bland. There's no typical frilly anime stuff on her skirt, so maybe adding some texture to it to kind of differentiate the cloth from the hat. Because if you color things like with the same color, with the same amount of texture, then it kind of looks like it's made out of the same material. It's always good. It's always good to add like a bit of a texture difference between different cloths. Uh, I heard that Rembrandt pastels were pretty good. Oh, hey, Coffee Cat. Glad you were able to make it to the live stream. I'll be live streaming until I finish this picture. And you know what? I might just add a background. Like, I had no intention of adding a background at all whatsoever, but I'm having fun coloring, so maybe I'll just do that. No idea what I'll do, but it's always fun to add a background with markers. Landscapes and stuff are a whole nother monster when it comes to working with markers or really anything, but I don't know what I would do for background. What color are her stockings, her socks, her tall socks gonna be? Or what color are her shoes gonna be? Gotta think about the next colors, people. Can't do all the work myself. Kidding. Right. Let's see. What else is going on this week? So, I am getting ready to send out some prints. So, I have the Kickstarter that I did a long time ago. Few people didn't get their prints, which I was very disappointed to hear. I sent all of them out. So I'm going to be mailing a whole bunch of prints this week to those individuals, plus those that support me on Patreon. So there is a level on Patreon where every 2 months you'll get prints, you get free prints. And so I'm going to be sending those out those weeks. So if you would like to get prints, I'm going to be sending out 4 of like new pieces that I finished, like some of my pastel work. I'm going to be sending those out. So if you want to get a very special deal, get 4 prints, go over to my Patreon page and sign up for the collector, the $15 a month pledge. If you only do it for this 1 month, so go over to Patreon, pledge, and then unpledge, you'll still get these 4 prints. So whoever does it by probably the end of tomorrow, you'll get 4 prints, which I won't be able to get anywhere else because I don't sell prints. So if you're interested, you can do that. Let's see. I'm gonna keep that color. Need a bit of a brown. Yeah, I think I'll do this. Add a bit of a shadow here. This brown. And on the hat as well. It kind of has like a Girl Scout hat on. You're curious. You can't tell what it is. That's what it is. A beret. I think it's called a beret. I drew it. I should know what it's called. The skirt looks like she's poor and she doesn't have anything else to wear. That is very interesting. I would not have. I don't know where you got that from. Where are your cookies? Yeah. Clearly, she ate all the cookies. Look at the face. Look at the face she's making. Okay, so I'm gonna add some texture to the skirt by making it corduroy. I can get this marker to work. one of the downfalls to the Tria is that sometimes the fine tip doesn't want to work too much. Suppose I could try. It's going to be tough to do it with this fatter edge. Yeah, it doesn't really work. So I just gotta like tap it on its edge a little bit. There we go. A little bit more ink. And I'm not trying to like make these lines super clean or straight or anything. Kind of just keeping the general direction, and it creates that kind of that effect that you get with the corduroy. Black shoes, cream colored socks, light blue socks, light blue socks. Where do you see blue? I I don't know if blue would work because I don't know where blue would work in this. It's a possibility. Maybe she just felt like wearing blue socks. I don't know. Sometimes it's good to just throw in a random color. So I need to do some shadow stuff. So let me just grab this dark gray here. Create some shadows for her skirt. Just a bit. There and over. Down here. There. There. So no, actually, 18 viewers is not my record, but glad you're keeping track of that. Thanks for letting me know how many we have. Um, when I drew my pastel tutorial last Thursday, I had 26. So I think that's my record. I think 26 viewers at one time is my record. And I did that. I did that live stream like much later or something. I do that. I know I did a live stream like in the evening, something like that. Black shoes, green stockings. I like the green. I think what I'll do, I'll create like some detail with her stockings and incorporate green. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Black shoes. Make one blue, one pink. Mismatched socks seems to be mismatched. Okay. Yeah, the Thursday's live stream was pretty big. Thank you, Pixie. I'm glad you came by, said hi. I'm glad you enjoyed what you were able to see. And hopefully, I'll see you next time. Okay, so while we're all pondering what color to do for the rest of it, I'm going to color this skin really quick. Let's. I'm going to start with this color here. This is just kind of like a pastel, like pink, super light, very, very light. It's almost nothing. And I'm just going to put this on there. Is this the right color? It is. This seems a bit darker than what I thought it was going to be. But that's okay. I'm going to make the shadows darker, and with the skin it's going to be a lot of blending. I want everything to be nice and soft, no hard edges from the markers. So multiple layers for the skin for sure. Green stockings sound like a nice idea. I like the green. I think I'm going to stick with green. And I have this green that I used on the sweater, the dark green or the light green. So I have both of them. So should I do this darker green here or the lighter green? I'm glad you like the jacket. Yeah, I like the jacket too. It was fun to do. It was simple and fun, and it had good results. My favorite things. Simple, fun, and looks good. That's what I like to create. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have pretended that these weren't socks that were going up this way, but like those quarter leggings coming down. That's what I should have done. See, nobody thought of that. Everybody thought they were socks, but really they're just quarter leggings coming down that are above the knee. None of you thought of that. It's all about perspective. No, but they are socks. I was just kidding. Some volume. The dark green. Do a dark to light green. Her socks are going to have a design. And maybe I'll incorporate the light green and the dark green. Or maybe she just has like sweatbands around her above her knee. Maybe they're just sweatbands and this is her bare leg. And I'll make one dark green and one light green. Yep, it is definitely coming to life. Uh, Suzanne, you can ask as many questions as your heart desires. I promise I'll try to answer them. You didn't know that sweatbands are a thing? Yeah, sweatbands are definitely a thing. For legs, you know? She's trying to keep her knees dry. You know how hard it is to exercise when your knees get sweaty? You gotta have sweatbands for your lower thighs. Obviously. Especially when you're exercising in a skirt. Clearly, we don't exercise. So, do I live stream for the company of fellow interested people? Yes. You see, I live in a country where I don't speak the language. So, my only interaction with people is through my live streams. And my wife, of course. I mean, yeah, she speaks English, but I don't have any friends yet here in Poland, so I get to just hang out with all of you lovely people. Let's see. I need some shadow color. I always kind of lean towards this for my shadow color. So I'm just going to go in and add some shadows. Is this the wrong color? No. No, I don't speak Polish. That's why I live stream, because then I have people to talk to. I need to speak Polish. I need to learn. I'm trying. It's a very hard language to learn. I mean, I don't try as hard as I should, but that's my wife's fault because she won't stop speaking to me in English. I've told my wife so many times that she needs to stop talking to me in English because otherwise I'm never going to learn Polish. And she doesn't care. No, I'm kidding. She cares. Just uh, she likes to speak English. And I mean, granted, if she did speak Polish like 100% all the time, then I wouldn't know what she's saying because I don't speak enough of it to understand it. Sorry, I think I might be missing some. Do I have a color for eyes? Thank you, Chrissy. I'm glad you like hanging out. I enjoy it too. I love it. It's so much fun. Yeah, you know what? Artista, tell my wife that because she tries to get me to exercise all the time. She's always telling me to do push ups and stuff. Makes me laugh. I probably should do a few. Sometimes, like when I'm just doing a regular time lapse, I'm just recording. Like I'll take breaks in between and do like 10 push ups and then go back to drawing. It helps get the blood moving a little bit, helps me concentrate, stay focused, all that fun stuff. So, yes, I do have a eye color. The eye color is going to be a turquoise light blue to complement her red hair. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Let's do a 168. Now this is where like blending is like super important. I'm doing a bit darker shadow on her face and stuff like that, but I don't want it to be like super dark reddish brown. So I'm gonna blend it back out with that other color, kind of create a nice gradient. Thank you, Peach Bunny. I'm glad you think that I'm a cool person. You're probably one in few that would compliment me in that way. Yeah, some of the compliments that I get on YouTube, they genuinely make my day. Because like if you ask my sisters, they would tell you that I can't sing, and that's the truth. But they always kind of made fun of my voice growing up, and so one of the compliments that I get a lot is like people like to listen to me talk, which I find hilarious, but also humbling because yeah, I would have never thought anybody would like to listen to me talk, but apparently people do, and um, I'm glad because it gives them reason to watch my videos and watch my live streams and hang out and just create stuff. So it's fun. It's cool. I like it, and I always I always enjoy people's compliments that they give me. I take them seriously. I really do, and I genuinely I genuinely appreciate them because I don't really there. I mean, there's a few like people that I watch live streams, but very few because like the time change makes it really hard for me to watch anybody's live streams. But when I get the opportunity, I do. All right, so I think that's going to be it for her skin. I think her skin is good. Trying to make sure I don't miss any the live chat. Yes, Anne, you're my only friends. Okay, I have all these colors out. Um, skipping the socks for now. Skipping her socks, moving on to the shoes. Um, I'm just gonna see. Let's just do a nice layer of gray to kind of establish the shadows and highlights of it. So just mid range gray here. Need to get some water. What's wrong with the beret? Is the beret not colored? You know, it does need a little bit of shadow. It needs a little bit of shadow. So I'll go back and touch that up. A bit darker brown or something like that. I don't know what I used. Oh, no, I have it here. But you're right, it needs a little bit more shading. So here's like the base color of her shoes. I'm going to keep that in frame. I have this piece of tape here. Sorry about that. think that was loud. I have this piece of tape, so I'll hold that there. We're doing the shirt for now. Oh, corduroy. No, it's different material. Like, yeah, it's different material. I thought you just meant colored, like colored in any way. But there does need to be some shadows, like there, a little bit. I know you can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry, but it's only going to be a second. There. Let's see here. Okay, so a little bit darker gray to establish the lighting some more on the shoes, like this, and this. Nothing fancy. And I'm going to go a little bit darker. And then I'm going to blend it out with the lighter color. And where's it at? Here we go. I think this is it. No. It was 5, I think. Kind of blend those out. Shoes are kind of just plain shoes, nothing special. And then we wanted her shoes to be a little brown, so I'm going to just add a little bit of brown to them. Especially in the shadows and kind of where shadows meet the highlights. A little bit of color. Very subtle. And I'll blend it out one more time with the light gray. Dark brown. There's nothing wrong with her being a little sexy. I wouldn't describe her as that personally. I think it'd be she's meant to be cute, not sexy. Although she is an adult because her proportions portray her as an adult. All right. There we go. Let me put some of these markers back so I don't have them all over the place. And there we go. All right, so, oh, sorry, I hope that wasn't loud. Let's see. So it's onto the socks. And we got green. We got green. We got this dark green. We got this light green. This is tough. So, what can we do here? This is difficult. I have an idea. Okay. So I'm going to color the entire sock with this light green. Just bear with me. Bear with me. So entire sock is going to be colored light green. And what this is going to be, so it's going to be kind of like the stockings kind of material. So it's going to be really thin. It's going to be really thin. And the shadow slash skin color is kind of going to come through a little bit. Now I'm trying to think of how this is going to work. So we're just gonna try it. But first things first, I'm gonna color the entire sock with this green color. I'm kind of nervous because I think the drawing looks pretty good so far, right? The real difficult part is going to be working out the shading. And it's going to take some careful color choice to get this shading to look right. Overall, I want socks to be green. So no, the shadows won't be dark green. I mean, they'll be dark green, but mostly they'll just be black. But not this, like the shadows aren't going to be this dark green color. Because I want the socks to have detail to them. Like a design. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Sorry, I feel like I've been quiet, like I haven't been saying anything for a while. I always try to think up something to say. Struggling because I'm just coloring in these socks with this same color and it's taking forever. Heart. Good there. Is that where the heart was? Right. Now I'm going to take this gray color. I'm going to start working in these shadows a little bit. And yeah, so here her knee comes and it's kind of blocked in. This is going to look really weird, so just bear with me. And it's going to kind of like bulge out here a little bit where her leg is wider. She looks like a doll. So this is, I'm just blocking in the shadow, but it's going to work. It's going to work. It has to work. But since I'm just blocking in the shadow with this gray color, it's going to look a little weird until I blend it out. And then it all kind of just is flat on her foot. And the same thing over here, her knee area, stuff, whatever. Wraps around like this. Kind of comes down here. All right. So there's her socks. It's rough right now. It's rough, but don't worry, it will get better. All right. So there's that gray. I need a bit darker now. This is where like the this should be okay. This is okay. So this is going to be the darkest shadow. It's just going to kind of be around the edge here. Create nice contrast. See, I'm trying to keep that green the best I can. But in reality, that green needs to kind of change. It needs to get a little bit darker because it's meant to look like the material is being stretched out, and so her skin color needs to show through like a little bit. So I'm going to grab her skin color and start incorporating that here in a second. Hello, Jessica. All right, so before I switch back to the shadow color, I'm going to, oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it so far. Her skin color was, her skin color. I know I have it somewhere. Oh, here it is. So this is her skin color, and I'm just gonna add some of it in here. It's not really doing much, but it's actually blending out and softening some of that, and it's also kind of it's desaturating the green a little bit. Yeah, so I'm using the gray just to create the shadows. And I can go over that gray with the green again to bring back some of that color. There. So now her skin color is showing through a little bit. Just a bit. I'm going to go back over it with a little bit lighter gray, just to, this is like a number 4, just to blend out some of those darker, harsher grays a little bit. I don't have a colorless blender with my markers, so I can't really utilize that technique. But I never really liked the colorless blender anyway, because really it just acted like an eraser and not a blender. I find with markers it's always best to use colors to blend rather than colorless blender, because it just, like I said, it just works like an eraser. Oh. I think that's pretty good looking for her stockings. So you think I should change her brown shoes to black? I do not know if the pro markers are light fast. Most alcohol-based markers are not light fast. The ink that they used in these ones was toxic, but it's light fast. So that's all I know as far as light fastness goes. So yeah, I think I should probably do her shoes black, and what I'll do is I'll add like highlights with white marker, or the white marker, the white ink pen. So I'm going to use my light green and add some more of the green back into the shadows here. Just go over it a bit. There. I like her stockings. They look really shiny. All right. So like I said, I wanted to add some detail to her stockings, and that's where the dark green, that's where this dark green comes in. So let's see. I'm trying to think of how to do it. I think, you know what? I think I might just make it easy on myself. Let's change this top part to the dark green. So I'm going to use the dark green up here. I'll just use this. I'll use this green to shade, to kind of create the highlight. That. I think that works. And then for the detail of her socks, I think I'm just going to kind of create like lines. Let's just go for it. There, how's that? There, do you like her socks? I think that's pretty cool looking. Let's add more detail though. Let's do dots. Let's do dots on the underside. And then over here. This is why I love markers, because they're so quick. And they're so fun to just design things with. There we go. And now we'll add some white. Take care, Alex. Thanks for coming by. So, white gel pen. Make sure it works. Kind of. And I'm just going to outline those lines there. Hopefully my head's not showing up in the picture. If you use markers, a white gel pen is a very necessary tool, because it is just a great way to go right over top of any color and just create some really fun, like, detail that's just super contrast and bright and very fun. I want that ink to dry, so I'm gonna do this side upside down so my hand's not in it. I want to touch the wet ink with my hand. So. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. These are kind of like very Christmassy stockings. Good thing I don't have any like actual red. This would be very Christmassy. You guys chose the light green. It's your fault that it looks Christmassy. You guys wanted the green stockings. There we go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Is gel pen archival? No. No, the gel pen is not archival. I mean, this one. Let's see. Let's see if it says anything. Nope. It doesn't. This is the Sakura Jelly Roll pen. If you're curious, that's what I'm using. They're okay. They're okay, but no. See, the thing with gel pens is that you can kind of think of them like paint, but they're not very permanent, and they will fade. I don't even know if this pen is acid free. So it's probably like a terrible thing to use. But I'm not really creating any masterpieces right now, so I don't really have much concern for the archivalness of my gel pens. So I still have her eyes to color. So let me see here. So she's gonna have like a turquoise blue. So I'm gonna start with a really light green. But before I do that, let me just put some of these markers back so I don't have such a mess to clean up. 4, 6. Yeah. I need some of these grays. I'm done with her skin color, so I can put that back. I'm done with this green. Done with this green, so I can put that there. Where's this go? 3, 4, 8. Yeah, it goes there. And this one, 5, 3. Where does this green go? Oh, it goes right here. There. And this one goes there. All right, so let's see if I can, how close I can get to her face. Yeah, I imagine that the white gel pens do turn yellow over time. And I don't need these purples anymore. 2, 6, 4, 2. So the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of like shade the white part of her eye, because you should never leave them white. It just adds like the perfect dimension to them if you just add a bit of shading. So it's a good thing to get into. A little bit darker there at the top, just a bit. And then I'm going to choose the lightest color of greenish, turquoise, bluish. 333. So this is the color of her highlights in her eye. It's a bit greener than it's a little bit greener than I wanted, but I think it looks okay. So archival and light fastness are somewhat synonymous. So light fastness is referring obviously just directly to it fading over time. But when it comes to archival, that is something that you want to think about. So that's a good thing to bring up, like the difference between light fastness and archival things. So archival, you want to think of archival more refers to how things might change over time, like degrading or yellowing. So things that yellow, like acid paper will yellow over time. So you use acid-free paper and you use acid-free products, and that's to keep it from yellowing. Whereas when you're referring to just like light fastness, that's just referring to it fading over time in general. But both are important to think about when doing when doing artwork, because you want it to last long and you also want the colors to stay vibrant for a very long time. Really, when it comes to markers, like if you're going to use alcohol-based markers, you're kind of out of luck as far as like artwork that's going to last a really long time. And so markers are just fun, and you can't really do much as far as making them last a really long time. They're gonna fade, but there is those Winsor and Newton markers, the brush markers or whatever, the pigment markers, but those are different than these kind of alcohol-based markers. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't use markers to create like masterpieces, and I never will, because they're just not the medium that I think is best for like doing stuff like masterpiece work. I mean, it's fun creating stuff like this, and I wouldn't do other than just fun stuff like this. Her eyes, yeah. I'm gonna go through and add just a bit of detail in her eyes, little speckles of black for texture. And of course, infamous white highlights. If I can get it to show up. And I think this is going to be it. I don't think there's anything else to add to this drawing. Unless you guys have an idea for the background. That's going to be it. So there is the finished drawing. My lovely girl. Maybe I should add a drop shadow at least, perhaps, maybe. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed the live stream. It was super fun hanging out with everybody. I will post a completed picture of this over on Facebook and all that fun stuff. And like I said, I took a picture of this. I took a picture of the line art, so I'll upload the line art over on my DeviantArt page so that you can download the high quality image and color it for yourself. I'd love to see how much better you could color yours rather than how I did. So yeah, I think I'll add maybe I'll add a shadow after the live stream. But anyways, hope you guys all enjoyed it. I had fun, and I'll see you next week in the next week's drawing journal. But I'm going to do another pastel tutorial this week because I've just been having way too much fun with it. Most likely, I can't promise anything, but I am going to try. I'm going to try to set that up. I don't really know what I have planned for this week, to be honest with you. I have no videos at all uploaded or scheduled or anything. So I need to get to work on some of that stuff. But for sure, I think probably Wednesday, I'll do another live stream working with pastels and doing something. So I'll see you all next time. Take care.